Trill Sinatra. I gotta get better lighting. That's okay. But we adjusting. We adjusting. And we got coffee. I hope y'all doing good. Hope everybody having a good spring. Hot like two pistols outside. You know, fire this time around. Texas is on fire this time around, Styles. Yo, check what happened to me. Make sure, yeah, I can. I can't believe this happened, yo. Don't worry, I got a new one on the way. But still, I'm just mad that had to happen. Oh man. Oh man. Shout out to the dream chasers. Shout out to the dreamers. I am a daydreamer. I am a day walker. Y'all seen Blade. We out here slaying vampires in the daytime. And we slaying demons in the nighttime. And we killing them both on Twilight. Yeah, we living the high life. Music. Music is life. That's why I got a beat. You dance to the beat of your drum. You make the music that your heart wants to bring to the world. You write down the poetry, the spoken word that the world needs to hear from your soul. You walk that walk and you talk that talk. Right now we Walker County stepping, just adjusting to the vibe, adjusting to the new blessings, adjusting to, you know, stuff falling apart so things could fall together like my headphones. I didn't see this happening. But you know, after further investigation, they were doomed. They were doomed to snap the way that they snapped because of the way that they, you know, I got a big head. So me putting them on my head and then having my locks down and then having one prepped up to the side, you know, it just caused it to snap. So the headphones done. I can still use them, you know, to record music and stuff like that. That's about to be their primary use now. I I initially got them for recording, but then my other earbuds, you know, they crapped out on me. But I'll be keeping stuff for a long time. Like I don't I don't mistreat my stuff anymore. Like since 2017 I stopped. Like when I had broke my last phone in 2017, I stopped with all that, you know, acting off of emotions and acting off of my anger and breaking my stuff just because I know, you know, I could buy that back or I could make that back. I stopped doing that because it's very immature. And even if I don't think that it's immature, I have to look at things from a higher perspective. I have to see my life from a higher perspective. I have to see everything that I'm doing from a higher perspective. I have to, you know, but what I'm saying is looking at life from a higher perspective, having things break so things could fall, you know, fall together. That's some of the best things that can happen because, you know, you never know, like I said before, you never know how much you can get when you lose something. I should have did all this before I started streaming. I am a locked character. I thought the light. Let me turn the brightness up. Maybe that's the problem. No, that's not the problem. I am a locked character in a video game. Let me see if I could adjust this so it could be brighter. That better? I don't know why it's that, but hey, I can't fix that. It's just the way that this thing is set up. But yeah, let me not stray too far away from the message. You know, things gotta fall apart so they can get back. So you can get more than what you lost. Let me see if this helps. Nope, that didn't do shit. Nothing I do is working. Y'all gonna have to deal with that shit. But turn this AC up. Start it. Hot. I got a date in 50 minutes or an hour, so I got for an hour. But we adjusting. It's the new Earth vibes. Y'all see how hot it is outside. It ain't getting any cooler. And it's gonna turn up. The heat turning up. That's better? Alright, cool. But yeah, you know, like, shit gotta break so you could get better shit. The headphones broke. Got better headphones coming. Got new headphones coming. You know, you might be in a terrible living situation, but trust and believe that the living situation is gonna change. You know, somebody said I look like a locked character on a video game. When you try to hold on to the past and you try to hold on to a life that you know is not fulfilling to you or conducive to your growth or your future and your tomorrows tend to look like a locked character in a video game. You start to look like a locked character in a video game until you start realizing yourself, until you start recognizing shit. I'm that nigga. I'm that bitch. I'm that girl. I'm that guy. Like, and then you got to start adjusting. And once you start adjusting, you adjust to that new ability that you just unlocked. You adjust to that new character, that new skin, that new, you know, that new weapon armor, that new car, whatever, right? Whatever it is that your higher self is pulling you through that portal towards, don't try to hold on to shit while you're getting pulled to the future, right? You know, when you watch a horror movie, you see somebody getting dragged, they got their finger marks on the ground and all that. Well, your future self is trying to pull you to that betterness. And, you know, sometimes we tend to try to hold on to things. And, you know, like I was saying, after 2017, me and my ex-wife getting together and stuff, like, I learned a lot in that relationship. Like, that was my best relationship ever. And I had a lot of relationships that lasted a while. But that relationship, it was a great teacher for me. It was that catalyst that I needed to become the man that I wanted to be before I even got with my ex. Right? The type of man that I wanted to be as a, you know, I'm talking about a father, being a leader, being a hard worker, being the provider, the protector, and all that. Like, that relationship set that tone for me to not only understand that aspect and that part of my future self or my higher self, but the patience. Like, I was learning patience, and that relationship definitely taught me a lot of, a lot about patience. Not only being patient with myself, but being patient with my spouse and being patient with the one that I love. Granted, not all relationships is not going to work out. It takes two, and if it's not two people that want to make it work, you can't you can't hold up two pillars by yourself. You hold up one pillar, she hold up the other. She hold up one pillar, you hold up the other. I can't get jiggy with none of the conversation that people are having talking about women being masculine and all this, that, and the third. Unless you got a third leg, baby, you can't be masculine. You could just be a strong woman. That's it. You ain't no. It ain't nothing masculine about you. You got two big old knockers, and you got the portal of life sitting between your legs. You don't have a third leg, so you don't know. I feel like it gets a little bit construed, right? That masculine energy that women like to think they have, that is more warrior type energy, right? You're in a survival mode, so that mode turns you into the empress, the female warrior. You have to protect yourself. Things happen, you're traumatized, our brains develop certain type of mechanisms to keep us safe. So when you're in that type of predicament, it's not a masculine energy, it's a warrior energy. The men can't have feminine energy. A man can be delusional and think that he has that feminine energy, but we can tap in to feminine energy because of our creative aspects. We are 50% our mothers and 50% our fathers. But as a man, you don't have that feminine, energy. And as a female, you don't have that masculine energy. You have the ability to create it for both sex. A man can create feminine energy and a woman can create masculine energy, but a woman can't have masculine energy. She can only go into her warrior state, and a man can only go into his nurturing state. He can only go into his nurturing energy, his nurturing state and way of being. They cutting grass right now? I don't care. They ain't stopping nothing. But a woman can't be masculine. You don't have a third leg. And a man can't be feminine. You don't have the portal of life between your legs. You can embrace the energy. You can embrace the energy. You can embrace the energy. It takes those two energies to create you. But once you're created, it's like a channel. You could channel your feminine side. You could channel your masculine energy. But that's not But that don't make you masculine, and that don't make you feminine. A man can embrace his ability to nurture. A man can embrace his ability to create outside of bringing, you know, organic life to the world. But we could create things. We can create things that'll eventually break, right? But that don't mean that we're female, right? We can create shit, but this is not a baby. This could be somebody's baby, but this is not a child. This is what we call kid, like an animal. An animal is a kid, right? But a baby is a child. And only a woman can create a child. A man can create kids. A man can raise children. A man can teach. A man can do all that. But a man can't create life. He has to go to the creator of life to do that. And he has to be accepted. His fertilizer has to be accepted. Her body, just because he wants to have that child, or he wants to go to the creator of life to create life, doesn't mean he'll be able to create life. He has to be accepted. His fertilizer has to be accepted by her body. If her body rejects his fertilizer, he ain't creating shit. No matter how much you want to be feminine or how much you want to be whatever, right? A woman can't, it's controversial, yes, right? I'm not saying you can't do what you want, but I'm just saying what's actually possible, what's real. I work in reality. A lot of people like to work in spirituality, but then they like to separate spirituality as if this real life don't need spirituality, and they act like spirituality needs this real life. Everything comes from the spirit first, right? But a woman can't do something that's not possible. It's not naturally possible. You have to go and make yourself complex. You have to go and pervert yourself and be manipulated and changed. That's when you can be, but it'll still be a lie. It wouldn't be the truth. It wouldn't be the real you. And same for a man. I'm not saying don't do what you want. I'm a champion for people being free and doing what they want and being who they want to be. I'm just letting y'all know, in order to create life, a man has to be accepted by the creator of life, and his fertilizer has to be accepted by her body. If her body doesn't accept his fertilizer, he's not giving birth. I mean, he's not able to bring or put his half or his 50% into a child that can be created. He can create 100% of something that's infinite, but he can't create something that's, he can create something that's 100% finite, but he can't create something that's 100% infinite, like a soul. And talking about souls, right? I was thinking, it was just a theory, right? But what if that 8 billion is just that? There's no more, there's no less. That 7 billion, however much humans they say is on Earth, it's just that number, right? And every time someone leaves, someone comes. Because the amount of people that passes and the amount of people that is born is kind of an imbalanced number. And it made me think, what if that number is imbalanced so that the amount of babies being born is balanced off by the amount of people that's leaving this world, and it's just kept at that number, and there's not really any new souls, because the soul is infinite, right? They say that energy can't be destroyed or created, it can only be transformed or changed, right? So what if that's it? I was just thinking about that, and that was just a thought while I was laying in bed right before entering the dream world. But things gotta fall apart, right? I used to be mad when my stuff broke. Now I'm just thinking about the next thing that's gonna be able to come in, because I'm not leaving anytime soon, and the things that is broken, it's only showing me that it doesn't outlast me. I outlast it. So I'm gonna outlast this world. But as the new earth is not only is the new earth being lifted up, it's being shown to everyone that certain things just have to fall apart for new things to come. Even the Bible says move with the times. So when they talk about a new world order, they weren't talking about some foreign government in some faraway land. They were talking about us. They were talking about the children. They were talking about the new millennia. The same children that comes around every millennia when there's an imbalance in the world and everything needs to be balanced again and be brought back into equilibrium. That's why I started the New Earth Initiative. Because we had to change the way that we spoke, not only to ourselves, but to other people. We had to change the way that we spoke because in order to understand language, you got to understand technology and the way that people can manipulate language. I used to be told words is wind. To an extent, words is wind, but to an extent, words is very powerful. Depending on the word you use, depending on the jargon that you use it in, and how you articulate it. Obviously, delivery and intent is always, a part of the formula, but words is very powerful. The Bible is filled with words, and those words, no matter how old or how long they've been written, they're still relevant today and being used today in every aspect of life. So words is not just wind. I believe words is wind coming from ignorance. People that don't know. Then they're just blowing gas. Talking out your ass like you don't need your mouth. But when somebody is speaking truth, you can't ignore those words. You can't see those words as somebody just blowing out their ass like they don't need their mouth. You can't see that as somebody blowing smoke. Even though we do get blunted in this motherfucker. But when somebody talking the truth, that logic is undeniable. My logic is undeniable. Your logic has to be undeniable, especially when you know truth. And if you don't know truth, everything that you've experienced up until this point is a lie. Because the truth is, the new earth is here, baby. And the old world is dead. Everybody that's a part of the old world, everybody that's been propping up the old world, they ain't gonna be here tomorrow. And I'm not talking about the next 24 hours. It's 515 and we already happy to be alive. I'm talking about 2027. I don't think they going to heaven. Because we already brought heaven to earth. And if they say the world is hell, we raise that motherfucker till it's heaven. And we still raising it. Up like 7-Eleven, baby. And we ain't never gonna stop. So, just like my headphones breaking, the world be broken in order for the new earth to be built. The old world gotta go in order for the new one to be brought anew. So shout out to y'all. Shout out to everybody in here. I'm on TikTok and I'm on YouTube at the same time. At the same damn time. smoking dope, drinking lean at the same damn time. But yeah, I'm gonna leave this right here. Told y'all I got a date. Can't be late. But I hope y'all have a great day. Continue to be great. Continue to be prosperous. Continue to be loud. Continue to be proud. It's that righteous ego. Don't let nobody tell you different. You're beautiful. You're all mountains. And heaven moves mountains. And I pray that heaven moves each and every one of you closer to your dreams and further away from your demise. Salute y'all.